Welcome back, everyone, to Pod of Thrones. I'm Jeff.
I'm Jennifer. I'm a game show host.
Oh. And come on down, because today we're going to talk about Game of Thrones headlines. And then we're going to cover some Handmaid's Tale, a show that definitely does not merit a voice like this.
All right.
All right.
What you got?
Okay, yeah, so we got a few Game of Thrones headlines. I don't know, do we have any other housekeeping to talk about, or should we just dive right in? It's actually not been that long.
I don't think we ever got any traction on our high school photo thing.
We did not. No.
Fuckers.
No. Well, who? Hey, that's our audience you're talking to.
Well.
Do you want me to bleep that out?
No.
No?
I put my photo out there.
That's true, you did.
It's embarrassing.
But you're hot.
No.
It's weird calling a teenage girl hot, but I know who you are, so it's okay.
Okay.
But no one's ever going to get to see my photo, so haha, take that.
I might just
What?
find it.
You can't give it to them anyway. You can't do that.
I'm mad.
Well,
then
you shouldn't reward them with my awful picture or pictures, as the case may be, because they didn't do their part.
All right. I'll find another way to punish them.
Jennifer's going to take revenge on you guys, so it's all on you. It's all on you, people. Not you, Jennifer. But
right, I know. Nothing's wrong with me.
No, nothing at all.
No.
You just got like serious crazy eyes when you giggled and said that. It's not a video podcast, unfortunately. Okay, so we have a few Game of Thrones headlines. One little one that leads into something kind of cool, and one kind of big one.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Starting with the itty bitty one, but not an itty bitty person. Hodor.
Hodor.
I've got Hodor. Kristen Yarn.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm saying Nairn. So he is going to act again, which is cool. Yeah. I mean, he's been in some stuff since Game of Thrones, but nothing we've seen, I guess. I don't know.
Mostly he's just hanging out.
He's still out there. He DJs.
Partying. Yeah, DJing.
He DJs. Yeah,
He hosted Comic-Con 2 years ago.
Was that 2 years ago?
Was it 3 years ago?
I don't know. Time is meaningless.
It sure is.
Incidentally, I did just get an email today. They're doing press for Comic-Con for this year. It's going to be a Comic-Con at home again.
But surely they couldn't pull it off by July.
We can register to be press for it, which means we get to watch the same YouTube videos as everybody else.
You know
I don't know
if
what
I
this
get
is
to
about.
watch.
Yes.
Did I watch last year?
Well, I think you were particularly gaga for the Nathan Fillion.
Oh yeah. If I could watch him again, that would be great. Or Nikolai
Coster-Waldau.
Right. Or who else?
But I'm just not sure. Maybe something will be different this year because everyone's prepared for it. Maybe there will be some interesting press opportunities. Luke Cage.
Yeah, I know he's not been around, but
yeah.
He's another one of
Actually,
my favorites.
I think I heard he might be coming back. I think Disney Plus is going to do some more content involving those characters.
They're probably going to cut out the sex scenes and stuff, I imagine. I
don't know. They're going for it on some of these shows, but no, I saw something for sure about the Punisher coming back with the same dude. Can't remember his name, but that guy who played the Punisher, and he was really good. But something about him coming back for sure, and maybe a couple of the other characters from the other Netflix MCU series.
Sweet.
Yeah. Maybe him, maybe not. Anyway,
sorry to interrupt.
Kristen Yarn has been cast to a new HBO Max pirate comedy called Our Flag Means Death.
He's a pirate?
Well, yes, the actor DJ has been cast as Wee John Feeney, a pirate on the show.
Nice.
And then I had to read a little bit more. Our Flag Means Death stars Oscar winner Taika Waititi.
Oh.
He's awesome.
Yeah. We got to watch this.
As the feared pirate Blackbeard. He will also direct the pilot and executive produce the project. The story is loosely based on the true adventures of Steed, or I don't know. Let's just say Steed. It's Stede. I don't know. The true adventures of Steed Bonnet, a pampered aristocrat who abandoned his life of privilege to become a pirate. I don't have that information.
Oh.
Not Christian Niern, but just some rich doofus who decided he wanted to be a pirate, the pirate life for him, and wound up with Blackbeard and adventure and apparently much comedy because, of course, it is.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Who directs it?
Taika Waititi.
Oh, he directed it and is in it.
The first episode, yeah. And he's in it.
Yay.
He's awesome. Second headline that leads into something cool, because this headline, not really that interesting once we get into the story, but the headline is Emilia Clarke reveals which Game of Thrones scene she would change. Any guesses?
The last scene?
Which one's the last scene?
Okay, well, let's see. Jon stabbing her or her riding the dragon and burning everybody.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so someone asked her that question on a recent interview. Was there any storyline or scene that you might have changed? And she said, right. The bit where I died.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was really it to that story.
That was just kind of a joke.
But that all said, the whole bitterness about the show ending, or the way it ended. That said, Clarke has more or less moved on and is currently out there promoting her new comic book, or I guess it's just Mom, M-O-M, Mother of Madness.
Not Mother of Dragons now. She's moved on to the madness.
It's about a single mom and scientist who gets superpowers and has to try to balance work, life, family, and crime fighting.
Oh, fun.
We have to get that.
Yeah.
I want to read it. I don't read a lot of comics. Maybe none in the last 20 years, but I want to read that. So everybody should check that out. Mom, Mother of Madness, apparently written, I guess, by Emilia Clarke.
Neat.
I
hope she wrote it.
I'm guessing she didn't do the art. I don't know of her being an artist or ever promoted as such.
We'll find out and report back.
Right.
Maybe we'll read the whole comic for you.
You know what? I'm just going to take a second right now. I'm going to put it on our shopping list so we don't forget. I mean, our shopping list is usually groceries. Let's see. We got ibuprofen, some protein shakes, oatmeal, and now M-O-M, Mother of Madness. That's on our shopping list.
And then we share that with my daughter, so she's going to see that.
If she looks.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool. And then finally, the big one, and this is no surprise to you. You read this first, I think. But Game of Thrones author, whoever he is, teases different ending in books.
Right.
So that's Gurm himself, George R.R. Martin. Right. So he was recently interviewed in a Chicago by a Chicago PBS affiliate. He said his books would take, quote, a somewhat different direction to the finish line. I think there's a more full quote here. He recalled that he had never feared the TV adaptation would catch up to him before he finished his books. Which, right there, really, Gurm. You didn't think that after you spent all these years not finishing your books that the TV show might catch up?
Making video games and writing other things.
Right,
and
lots of other things.
And blogging and going to football games or whatever it is you do. How dare you?
Running a local theater. I mean, he does all sorts of stuff. And
how does he have time to write? He doesn't.
More power to him, but it should have been obvious.
But like I said last time, he's an old man. He deserves to do whatever he wants to do.
That's fine. But
I wouldn't want anybody holding me to,
But here's what he said. So he never thought the TV adaptation would catch up with his books. He thought he would finish them first. And he said, they caught up with me and passed me. And that made it a little strange because now the show was ahead of me and the show was going in somewhat different directions. Mm-hmm. So I'm still working on the book and you'll see my ending when that comes out.
When I die. I die.
Yeah, that's the big worry. My hope. And I feel like when you write, and I've read this before too from some other authors that write kind of epic fantasy fiction, you have to kind of map it out in advance. And sometimes you can tell when someone didn't, like, let's say the Harry Potter books. I read those. I enjoyed them myself once, and then I read them to my daughter and then another kid. Like, I've read those books a bunch of times, right? And the first couple books are pretty cool and interesting, and you've got this world building up. And then later books, some things just don't quite add up, whether it's the economy or just answers to bigger questions you had about the world. And just, I don't know, just there's weird inconsistencies. And that's a sign that she probably didn't plan the whole world out in advance. You have to do that so everything makes sense the whole way around. And so if George R.R. Martin dies, this is my point. If he should die, and we hope he doesn't, but if he should die, there's probably an outline somewhere that has all the major points that his last couple books are supposed to touch.
I am surprised that nobody has stolen that and taken snapshots of it and leaked it.
I think he works a lot on paper.
Right.
You can't
He's
hack
got
paper.
it made.
You can't hack paper. You could break into his house,
No,
but he
take
probably...
pictures of it.
Who?
The maid.
Oh, the maid. Oh, is that what you said? I thought you said something like, he's got it. Oh, that's what you... I thought you said he's got it made. Like he can't be hacked. He's got it made. But you are actually saying he's got a maid.
Yes.
His
and
maid.
I'm sure he's got a gardener. I'm sure he's got workers coming over to his house.
Maybe he has a maid, and this would be smart if you were someone like him. Maybe he's got a maid that's just like, dragons and magic? What a bunch of stupid crap.
Nerd.
Yeah, you stupid nerd. Give me my money. She gives him a wedgie every week on her way out of the house.
Yeah.
But that's how he knows he's safe. Because she doesn't even know who he is. He's just some rich old coot that likes dragons.
Your crazy, zany ideas.
Who?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
What? That's how you keep your shit safe. Surround yourself with people that hate you.
Okay. I'm not sure if that pans out, but...
Okay, so the point, the point of all this is that in the real Game of Thrones, we might not have to keep living with this idea of Bran the Broken having the best story of anybody in all of Westeros.
Yeah.
And therefore being deserving of being king.
He should have just become the tree way back when. Like in the Children of the Forest. That's when he should have become part of the tree or whatever.
There was someone on Twitter that I got into it with a little while ago, and it wasn't that long ago, and I don't tweet a whole lot, so maybe I can find it if I scroll here very quickly. But I wound up just talking Game of Thrones with someone and the whole Bran the Broken concept.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm going to find who that person was, so I'm just going to continue on. Someone named Nina, I think. But that doesn't help me. But shout out to Nina. Cool cat. But I was going back and forth with her, and I don't remember how it started. But something she said gave me a wild idea about Bran. It was Bran all along. Like Agatha. Now, not when he was a little boy that got pushed out a window. But as soon as he got awakened as the Three-Eyed Raven, he was the main villain of the series. Think about it. If he hadn't been there to start telling his truths or whatever, which is all he did, he talked to a couple people, right? If he hadn't been there, Jon never would have known that he was really a Targaryen. He and Daenerys would have been happy as a couple, and he would have supported her every move. She would have never felt betrayed, would have stayed sane, and not just tried to destroy the world.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But he was an all-knowing dude that can see not only the truth, but also through time.
Right. It was foretold that he was going to do that.
That he was going to do what?
Tell them.
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know if it was foretold or not, but I feel like he should have known what the consequences would be of telling Jon that he was really a Targaryen. And if he knew that, and he knew that this was all going to be fucked up, and didn't he say something when he got to King's Landing of like, why do you think I came here? Because he knew he was going to be elected king. So he knew everything. And if he knew that he was going to become king, and he fucked Jon up and fucked Daenerys up by telling this stupid shit, maybe it was not because he knew he just had to be king, but because he wanted to be king. And he knew that if he told Jon the truth, that it would fuck them all up and he could take power. And now he's going to be a new evil son of a bitch.
No.
Oh, come on.
No, I don't think so. Because he's off on his merry little travels now. He's not even running the...
Using animals to search for Drogon. And what's he going to do if he finds Drogon?
I don't know, but...
Drogon's the mightiest beast in the realm. And Bran can't do a whole lot on his own.
Ooh, he's going to ride him.
He's going to use him.
He's going to strap a saddle to him like a John. Was it John that made him the saddle?
Was there?
Somebody made him a saddle. Well, it was like a wheel. It was like a
Bran.
A bucket strapped on a horse.
That was Tyrion.
Was it Tyrion?
Tyrion gave him the plans, the idea for making a special saddle for Bran.
So anyway, he's going to do that with Drogon.
I thought there was some weird thing in your head where they put a saddle on Drogon.
Well, yeah, this is his saddle.
Oh, he would be, well.
Okay, you're not getting me tonight.
He's got it made. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So that's a theory. And then what, do you have anything else?
You don't like that theory.
I don't.
It was Bran all along. No?
No.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, if I'm right.
I don't really care. That's the thing. I
You
just
heard
don't
it here first.
even care to like entertain the idea.
Oh, well, fine.
I don't know. I'm just
Well, I guess we should move on then.
broken. Well, I have
do you have
my
something?
sofa.
What?
My Sophie Turner corner.
Oh, Sophie. I don't have any Sophie Turner news.
Oh, well, she's selling her 11-room home for $16.7 million.
11 rooms?
11 rooms, yeah.
That doesn't seem like a lot of rooms.
No?
When you hear
Well, maybe they're
11
counting
rooms?
Whoops.
You don't have to throw your phone at me.
Maybe
Jesus,
they're counting bathrooms. I don't know.
Well, no, but I'm saying 11 rooms isn't that much. Like, it's a nice house. But when you hear
11
about
rooms is not that much. Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 11 bathrooms.
Okay,
it's
that's
only 9
different.
bedrooms. Only 9
Only
bedrooms.
9 right. That's what I'm saying. Okay.
What are you saying? You said it's not that much.
11 rooms is not a ridiculous house.
But this one has 9, so it is ridiculous.
11 bathrooms is ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Okay.
11 bathrooms is how you know a house is ridiculous, because it might, quote unquote, only have 9 bedrooms.
Well,
but then it probably also has like a bunch of it's probably got like 4 sitting rooms.
It's got a theater.
2 kitchens. Oh, a theater. Right. That's okay. But you said 11 rooms. That's not impressive for a celebrity.
I thought you were thinking bedrooms.
No, you just said rooms.
Okay, whatever. God.
It's like, fine. It's a 2-story house in the suburbs. What do you want
anyway, what has gotten up your butt tonight?
You're the one that said 11 rooms.
So?
Is it me?
It's you.
Everybody, is it me?
It's you.
Am I the crazy? I'm high on cake, maybe.
Yeah.
You made me cake.
I did.
For Father's Day.
For Father's Day.
I ate a lot of it.
A Black Forest cake.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
It was fun to make.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I slept through it.
And easy.
Which is, yeah, that's how I slept through it, because apparently it wasn't that hard. Go figure.
I mean.
Well, that's what you keep saying.
There was a lot of mixing.
Okay. I don't know how I slept through that. Okay, so that was Sophie Turner Corner. Oh, was she selling a house? Was there more to it than that? It's just that it's
says
big.
For their growing family. I didn't see that she was actually growing a family inside of her.
Fuck that. Okay.
But maybe they're planning it, or maybe she is pregnant. I don't know.
But they had one kid.
They have one kid.
And they might have another kid.
Right.
And for their growing family, because of that, they're going to
need more bedrooms.
They're going to be a family of 4. 9 bedrooms. Not enough.
They need 12 bathrooms now. Every time they add one, they just add another bathroom.
Uh-huh. Yeah, 1 bathroom per kid, plus 6 for Sophie, 3 for Joe.
Because you need privacy. Privacy.
I'm fine with privacy. I guess I didn't think that required its own dedicated bathroom.
Maybe you have 9 people in the house.
Maybe she has IBS
and
I should be making fun of her need for privacy.
I think it came with that many bathrooms. I don't think she had it built.
Well, congratulations, Sophie Turner, on making a lot of money in real estate and maybe having another baby.
Yes,
indeed.
Yep. And possibly being bisexual.
And pride.
Pride.
To whatever it is you are, Sophie Turner, but apparently you're not straight, so cool. Whatever she is.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Should we talk about Handmaid's Tale?
Let's do it.
We're only 22 minutes in.
God.
Or 20 minutes, probably. All right, so let's do this. We watched the last 2 episodes, penultimate and finale. So let's see how far we get before we give up, because we keep bickering.
Okay.
Handmaid's Tale, Season 4, Episode 9. Progress. Where should we start? Should we start in Gilead?
Whatever.
Or should we start
Let's
in
just
Canada?
start. Go.
Fine, I'm going to start us in Gilead because this was
Okay, go.
the shocking shit. The rest of it was like, meh.
Just go.
Okay. Shut up. Jesus. We're in Gilead. We get an update on Janine. She's out of her cage, and she is now scrubbing floors like a handmaid trainee. But it's in that big gymnasium of the Red Center, and we get them bringing in a girl, a naughty handmaid who is hunger striking, and they're going to try to convince her to eat. And then we figure out who it is.
It's Mrs. Keys.
Esther fucking Keys. She looks completely different.
She looks like she's got blood coming out of her eyes.
Her hair looked darker, didn't it?
Everything was different.
And she's
like,
wearing
she was
a handmaid's outfit.
Yeah, she looked, I mean, she was always a weird, not weird, but like
Wow.
stark looking. I'm not sure what. They make her look very like sternish. And now she just looks like she's pissed off and been crying stern.
Well, and she is. So I guess she's a really good actress. Right. So Lydia would like Esther to eat and behave so she can cleanse herself of her corrupting influences, which of course is June. But Esther ain't having it, and then she gets taken away again. Now, the first thing that comes into my head is what they threatened June with once. Do you remember that? Feeding tube. Oh, that can't be a good way to live. You're basically a goose at that point, and not the good kind of goose that can have a fun life. We cut to the ants, a whole bunch of ants, having dinner in a very weird manner. I know it's probably that way because they were filming it for television, but didn't it look a lot like The Last Supper?
Yes, it did. That's what I immediately thought of.
It's just all of them at the table, and no one's on one side of this very long table, and everybody's on the other side.
Or nuns. Nuns do that too.
They do?
I think so. Maybe not so much anymore, but like in the movies, they always showed them.
Like, it's one thing if you're like at the front of a hall and you just got married, or you're Albus Dumbledore or something, like they're all sitting so that they can face the students or the audience or whoever. But these people are just eating dinner at I don't know. It was weird.
They don't like their back to the room.
Very weird. Well, they could get stabbed.
Yeah.
They're having a debate over persuasion versus a feeding tube as pertains to Mrs. Keys, the former Mrs. Keys. And they also talk about Janine, and Lydia assures them that she will try to find an appropriate posting for Janine.
Right. They're like, why haven't you found a house for her yet? She needs to go.
Do you think that Lydia is actually trying to protect Janine from further abuse?
I think so.
Does she actually like Janine? Does she love Janine?
I think she thinks of her as her. Now, is Janine the same girl? No.
No, but I was just thinking of that girl. They actually are kind of alike, aren't they? Like very a free spirit. Not sure what she wants to do with her life. Mm-hmm. And Lydia helped that lady in the before
She had fucked her.
What?
In the end. She didn't. She took her son, and she had her son taken away.
Right, yeah. She totally screwed that lady over, and probably some part of her felt bad about it, but she thought she was doing God's will or whatever.
And then she goes on to take not millions, but thousands of children away from other women. Mm-hmm.
But now Janine must have sparked something in her. This Janine could be the key to Lydia's redemption.
I don't know. Or maybe she's using her. Who knows?
The other ants think that Janine would be a prime candidate for the breeding colonies, as was the original plan. Mm-hmm. But Lydia doesn't want to hear about that.
These cannot be the same colonies, right?
No.
Okay. They
Can't be, because you can't have a baby
of women
there.
To lay there and
you work the fields, and then every once in a while someone comes and rapes you. Comes, yes. Womp womp. So then Janine visits Lydia in her quarters later, brings her like some tea or something first, but still not normal to just kind of have a confab with Aunt Lydia, the scary lady. But she tries to convince Lydia that she just doesn't understand Esther. Esther's had it rough. All the rapes on the farm with a bunch of different men and, all this
Lydia
stuff.
didn't know that.
Maybe Esther just needs to feel safe here. Maybe Janine can talk to her. So Lydia says, we will put her correction on hold and Janine can spend some time with her. Yay.
Yay, Janine.
Janine's making a difference. I guess I was wrong about her turning into the dark handmaid. Oh, well. Janine brings some food to Esther, who is chained up in a room just like June used to be. And Esther gets all excited, starts eating. She's clearly delusional. She's like, how'd you get past the guards? And how'd you steal all this food?
Esther is delusional?
Esther's doing that. Yeah, she's doing
No,
that same thing.
No, she's not. She's questioning her because she's figuring it out.
No.
Yes.
I thought she was just excited because she thought Janine was some sort of secret superhero.
No, she knows. She knows. We know she knows.
Well, she figures it out, but she started eating and then she spat it out when she realized Janine was...
She started questioning her because she was like, wait a second.
Maybe. But Janine speaks the truth, tells her what she needs to hear, that there will be serious consequences if you don't eat, and they will not let you die. That part's not going to happen.
They'll just chop off your legs and your arms.
Oh, God, like
just
that movie
like in
Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked up. Bone Tomahawk is a fucked up movie.
Yeah, I bet we'll see that in the breeding colonies.
Did we do an episode on Bone Tomahawk in the other podcast long ago?
I don't know. I know we've spoken about it, but I don't.
It might have been too fucked up to merit a whole podcast episode. And we talked about Human Centipede at length. Bone Tomahawk really fucked up at the end. So she says, you need to stay alive so you can still be here when things get better. And that is a good point.
Sure.
I mean, if you're going to find any source of hope, it's that
things
hope
might get better. There is a little bit of hope right now.
Eventually, Gilead will fall. And maybe the next day or whatever, Janine delivers an unchained Esther to Lydia. Esther is saying the answers to the questions. May the Lord open, yada, yada, yada. And Lydia is happy with what Janine did, but the other aunts don't seem as amused.
Yeah.
They think it's all
I think
fishy.
they think it's inappropriate that she let Janine talk with Esther.
Maybe, probably, yeah. It's a different kind of tack, but
and
it's
now,
also...
I think that Lydia's going to want to keep using Janine to keep her girls in line. Janine can be her go-between.
Which would probably save I mean, let's assume that they're not going to let you die if you're a handmaid, and I mean, you're kind of stuck in this situation. If Janine can be a go-between to convince them to not get their eyes gouged out or their hands cut off or their mouth sewn shut, etc., then Janine would be doing everybody a favor. Lydia doesn't have to be a monster. The girls don't get tortured in the same way. It's better.
Of course, yeah. And then Janine is going to become Mayday.
That would be cool. So Janine starts the next phase of Mayday from the inside of the Red Center.
Yeah.
God, that would be so cool. Is Janine coherent enough for that?
Put together enough?
Yeah, she sort of lapses in and out of, but maybe she doesn't.
I think she had
maybe the bomb.
Well, I think that she's like now, I guess everything's not going to be honky-dory.
Maybe she's finally seeing the world for what it really is.
Maybe.
That'd be good.
Or just knocked out because she used to be like normal, pissed off. And then she got her eye taken out and then she's like, all, and then
they broke her.
They broke her.
They broke her for
I
real.
think she's being unbroken. Just like Theon.
Yes. That's a good allegory. He lost his dick. That broke him. For real. Yep. Mm-hmm. Good point. Okay. That makes Lydia the Ramsay Bolton of this show.
Ooh.
It's not wrong.
No?
Yeah. Wow. Good job, babe. Did not see that coming. Cool. Got a little shiver. All right, let's talk about Canada, eh? Boy, there's just a lot of depressing stuff.
A lot of emotions.
A lot of crying.
Like yelling.
Luke and June. June is sorry about what happened with Hannah. He said that's not her fault. Nick told me that she's back home. And when she says that to Luke, Luke seems very shaken. And he grasps verbally onto the home part, but I feel like part of it was also probably the Nick part.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
right. They haven't talked about Nick.
Yeah, as far as we know, they have not dealt with the fact that she fell in love with another man while she was out there.
That's got to be uneasy, huh?
Probably.
Uncomfortable.
But Luke did keep himself busy while she was away, and he finally brings her in on that. He has been gathering tons of intel. Anything he can figure out about Gilead and where things are moving. How is she
so easily getting a hold of him?
Who?
June.
Talking to Nick?
Yeah, I mean, I know that they arranged it.
I don't think that was new information. I think he told her that maybe when he dropped her off for the breeding colonies, because that was after she gave Hannah up to save the other handmaids, right? Like that was Hannah in the glass box was before he takes her to Lydia and they have a makeout session that everyone can see.
Right. That was so weird.
That whole thing. So he must have told her on the way to the makeout session. Okay, so June has a plan. She sees all this intel. She's like, okay, we got all this information. Now we got to figure out someone who can help us. And this is the part I don't get. They call Commander Lawrence. How did they get his number?
Right.
It seems to be on a completely different type of telecom system, just the way it's this crackly, weird connection. It's so like 1940s. I would love to have any explanation as to what that is, just from a technical standpoint. But they call him. And he is funny, like just so
quirky,
deadpan. But he thinks they should just leave Hannah alone. Does she actually need her original mother and father?
I kind of agree. Maybe save her when she's 18.
Well, he says your love fucks people up. You're a fountain of heartache and trouble.
That's got to be feel good, huh?
I mean, but is he wrong again?
No, he's right.
She loves her daughter.
Although everybody's got heartache and trouble in Gilead.
That's true. But June lets it out. In ways that most people just repress it, right?
Explodes it.
Yeah. And then a lot of people get killed. But never June. And he tells her that Janine's okay. She's at the Red Center.
Oh, yeah. That kind of threw her for a loop, huh?
Right. And June is not happy about that. So they start.
Is she happy or is she not happy?
No, June is not. Well, she's not happy that Janine's at the Red Center. No,
I see.
No, not at all.
She's happy she's alive. Maybe.
So they start talking a deal. They offer that the Americans will help push the Canadians towards some trade deals if he helps her get Hannah, and he laughs at her. Then he offers Hannah for 10 of the kids that were stolen. The ones that are struggling in Canada. And there's a whole thing. And
sure.
He brings the offer down to 5 kids. It doesn't.
How long has it been?
Again, some of those kids really bonded to their families.
If they're older, give them a choice.
A choice, right. That's what I would think is like, maybe we could give them a choice, but maybe the ones whose parents are dead anyway. I don't know. I mean,
the ones that are homeless now.
But now Hannah is going to be all fucked up too.
Familyless.
Like if they get Hannah back, they're going to be going through that same problem, right? Yeah. Of Hannah being completely brainwashed to Gilead now.
Now, did June hasn't seen the aftermath of that.
Of Hannah?
No, of the children that are having problems adjusting.
No, I don't think so. I mean, they probably talk about it. They're always having dinner and stuff. Moira knows about it.
I don't think they talk about it.
No? All right. Well, she might
because
not.
I think she's not ready for that.
But June cannot commit to any of these ideas. Lawrence is troubled by this. And she tries to plead to his good nature, but he says he can't stir up trouble right now and hangs up on her. Well, that's the end of that. And we don't know what his grand plan is. We don't know where any of his ideas are going. He does seem to have made Lydia stop torturing people. At least a little bit.
So.
Yeah.
And he also, like, after he hung up, he was clearly shaken? Well, I was not really shaken, but affected by the call. Like,
oh, yeah.
It wasn't just like hang up and all right, whatever. He was like, fuck.
Yeah. He's not breezing through these things. Whatever's going on with Gilead and his position, he seems to be almost at the top now. Somehow. Yeah. Even though they know, like, he was part of these escape plans. Like, he was working against Gilead.
Do they know that, or do they just know that it was all of his house, like house people?
Maybe.
And maybe. June.
I guess that's possible. I don't know.
Because Lydia's hoarding it over him.
Lydia? Oh, well, she knows other things about other people too. That's how he got.
But she knows that he helped.
Probably. Well, I feel like everybody
other people
knows.
Must not know, because otherwise she wouldn't have anything on him.
I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Meanwhile, people are sending baby gifts to Fred and Serena because now they have fans.
Oh, so weird.
He tells her to read one of the cards that was sent, and she goes, "Am I allowed now?"
He's so creepy the way he talks.
Yeah, he is. But she's all offended at the idea that he would tell her to read something, which I found funny. But he says the world should hear your voice again, and he tells her she should write another book, and she starts thinking about that. Like the book that helped break the world in the first place. Now make another one.
Or is she thinking about the fact that he's telling her to write a book?
Well, yeah, she is, but...
No, I mean, like, what is she...
Oh, more hypocrisy?
Right, but also what's he trying to do? Like, you know, he's got something up his sleeve.
I feel like it's obvious what
Maybe he's going
to
have her murdered.
Oh.
For writing a book.
Oh, no. We can't do that in Canada.
You don't think he's going back to Gilead? No. You think he's going to try and spread Gilead into Canada?
Right. I think he's going to just try for the next revolution because he knows he's going to make this plea deal or whatever, right? Like that's coming.
Oh, but... Okay, well, let's just move on.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. So June's continuing to fish through Lawrence's intel. She finds a Polaroid of Hannah, which is kind of weird. I don't know how she got that. Maybe
she was given that.
Maybe Nick gave it to him.
I think somebody gave it to
Nick
her. I
was
don't
in
remember.
Canada.
And I remember her
Nick
folding
and
it and putting it in her pocket or something.
Oh, all right. So Luke then comes in and he has an idea. Maybe there's someone else who can help if Lawrence can't. How about Nick? And June, shaken, doesn't know how to handle the situation. But she says she'll try to reach out via Tuello. And then Luke says, but don't call him. Maybe meet him somewhere in person.
But this is really weird, isn't it? I don't...
This was definitely coming to some kind of thing where Luke is off in the distance with a sniper rifle and Nick just takes a bullet to the head and goes down. That's the only way that this could work. And then let's continue on.
Okay.
So June doesn't know how to handle this situation, right? But Luke doesn't want them to meet. But if it's the best chance to get Hannah, you'll have to do it. And also take Nicole with you. That'll help butter him up. And so, yeah, that's where I wrote in my notes. Luke has a secret plan that involves killing Nick. I'm sure he does. I'm sure of it.
He's awfully pissed off. I mean, he's just holding in his rage.
He is. And it's starting to show.
Mm-hmm.
Back over to Fred and Serena. They get visitors. God, I wish I remember what their last name was. But it's Naomi and Warren, who used to be Janine's keepers, right?
Yeah.
Warren lost his arm because of some of the shit he did. And the baby almost died, but they let Janine spend time with the baby and she nursed it back to health.
Well, yeah, they had that poor kid covered in, like, always covered up, never getting any kind of sense of touch.
Yeah. So Serena gets the visit from Naomi first. Naomi is weirded out instantly that she sees Serena has been writing things on a pad of paper. But she starts giving them tons of gifts from the neighborhood women. And then turns very quickly. Naomi's like, we don't have a lot of time. So listen, if you are still in jail when you have the baby, I'd be happy to raise it for you. Tee-hee, tee-hee. And also, I think you'll probably go free. And then you should totally come back to Gilead. You'll be a hero there.
It's so weird. It's like it's a puppy.
The baby?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is. It's not, well, because you don't have.
It's not your own.
Sophie thinks we're talking about her because you said puppy.
No, I think she just farted.
Okay.
She freaks herself out and then she looks at her butt. and then she's like 10 run
years
away.
old. How has she not figured out that she farts sometimes yet? It still surprises her.
She doesn't know what it is.
All right. Anyway, so, because it's different even than adopting, right? Like you adopt a child, you go through a process of like either getting to know parents or going to an orphanage and bonding with someone and falling in love. But this is just like, I don't care what the baby is or does or anything. I just want a baby. It's very childlike. I mean, it's like I want a puppy. Like,
right. They need a Cabbage Patch doll or a American Girl doll.
And it's a status symbol. Probably more than anything else.
Mm.
Like there's part of you that knows that you're trying to save the world, birth rates, blah, blah, blah. But it is just status, isn't it? To be proud, to be walking around with a stroller on the sidewalk.
Right. Ew. You don't get a handmaid when you're off in the, I don't know, middle city or whatever.
Oh, the Econo wives?
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah.
There, of course, they get to stay married to their husbands or whatever as long as they're good people.
Yeah, as long as they behave. So yeah, Naomi's creepy as fuck, and Serena's definitely put off by it. And then we get Warren and Fred sitting outside. Warren gives Fred a box of cigars, and Fred starts laying into him pretty quickly, like, why didn't you show up sooner? And Warren's like, well, we've been trying to repair the damage over all these children that got kidnapped. And Warren says that he wanted to retaliate against Canada, but the old quote-unquote war horses are being put out to pasture, I guess meaning Lawrence and Nick are taking over, and they are trying to take a more diplomatic route through all these troubles. Mm-hmm. And then Fred is also wondering why they didn't try to get him released from prison. There's all sorts of ways you could bargain me out of this jail. And Warren says, no, we can't do that. It would set a bad precedent. Then everybody would be kidnapping us commanders just to get leverage over us.
It's true.
Do you remember the last part he said that was the best part in the whole fucking thing?
What did he say? We
will continue to send you our thoughts and prayers. You just need to put a ... motherfucker on the end of that. Oh, that's the best. That's good writing right there, to slip in that touchstone of our time. The old, here's a tragedy, have some thoughts and prayers, because that does anyone any good.
Well, it does some people good.
It does people good to pray. It does no one good to have someone else praying for you when you're suffering through losing your children to a school shooting or something.
It makes them feel better.
Yeah.
As long as they feel better.
Right.
It's good.
Makes you feel better to send your thoughts and prayers. Okay, so then June goes off to meet Nick somewhere. Luke seems to be a complete mess as she leaves, but she gets in the car and they drive away, and she's smiling a little bit. There's a little glimmer of happiness on her face. She gets to a house, and fuck, are they in Canada? Are they in America? How does this meeting work?
Seems like you can take back roads to Canada. You probably can.
I feel like Back Road to Canada is like an old horror movie from the 70s.
No.
No?
Because it's to Canada.
That's true. Nothing bad happens in Canada.
Never. Yeah, I think they're just like driving through rural roads.
Yeah, but how does Nick seems to be completely unaccompanied. He is of status now. I am curious how he made that happen.
He's been making that happen for a long time.
Oh, he is still the head of the eyes.
Right.
He's in charge of the eyes now. I guess he can pretty much do whatever he wants.
So weird. He's so young and just, it's not, I don't know.
He worked the system. He climbed that ladder. So she gets to this mystery house, and Nick is there, and like, I'm all fucking tense, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be. I'm waiting for that bullet. I'm waiting for his head to explode like a watermelon.
Or everybody to like come driving in.
Yeah, or yes, anything. It could be a trap for June, but probably not, because it's Nick.
I thought it was going to be a trap.
It could be a trap for Nick. Totally could be, but it's not a trap. All of that tension for no reason. For nothing.
And they're sitting in the freaking window. I'm like, could you please move away from the window?
Waiting for his head to explode.
They knew what they were doing. Giving us that.
They must be. Tension. They must have known. It must have been on purpose. So they have this whole thing, but he was already like, he came there with a whole dossier on Hannah. Like he didn't need June to ask him. That's what he was there for.
Aww.
She's in Colorado Springs. She's a good student at the domestic arts school. Ugh.
Does that mean, you're learning how to
just cook and take care of a man? Yeah. It's depressing. Well, she's not learning to read or write or arithmetic. That's for sure. All right. So he says it's impossible to get Hannah out, though. There's guards everywhere. She is in a secure location. That's not going to happen. They regret not running away with each other to Hawaii or whatever. And then they make out for a little while. And then he gives Nicole a cute little doll. And then they say goodbye. And he says, hey, June, try to be happy. And then she takes off.
Yeah.
And what does he do?
Oh my gosh, that's right. He puts a ring on his finger. He's totally married.
He got married again.
Again.
Is it a child bride this time?
I hope not.
I hope not.
Who could it be?
You think it's someone we know?
Do you think that now June is like, there's a flicker of like her love is sparked again and she's going to be all to Luke, I don't want you anymore. I'm going to go find Nick.
I don't think she could do that. I think she's torn. I mean, she loves Luke.
I think she's annoyed at Luke, and I think she really does believe that the reason he left his ex-wife was because she couldn't have children.
Whoa. You think that stuff's still coming up, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, they did remind us
Remember,
of it a few
she was
episodes
like,
ago.
I'm so sorry I couldn't get her. You know, he's going to be so mad at me.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah.
She thought that Hannah was more important than her, which, okay. But still, you know.
Yeah. Well, it's important to put your kids first, but if it's going to get both you and your kid killed, or else you could both live and fight another day, then it makes sense to do what June finally did.
Well, she didn't do it. She wasn't going to stay. They made her come.
On the boat?
Yep.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be there if it was up to her.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Anyway.
Yeah,
slips the ring back on.
He puts a ring on his fucking finger.
I hope we get to see who he married.
I hope so. I'm sure we will, but not
I wonder if
this
it's
season.
anybody we know.
That's what I was wondering. But who do we know besides handmaids and people that are already wives? Not a lot.
Mrs. Keys.
She's a handmaid now. That would be interesting, though. Oh, maybe Keys can be assigned to him, and then he won't hurt her. That would be nice.
That would
She
be
could
nice.
work for him. She could be an eye. She'd
or
feel like a superhero.
Lawrence.
Or Lawrence. Yeah, maybe.
Although he seems like he's kind of on a one-way train to...
I don't think he makes it out of this story alive.
Yeah.
Nick probably does.
We'll see.
I mean, I wasn't thinking so when I was waiting for his head to explode like a watermelon, but since that didn't happen, he probably makes it out of this. Okay, back to Fred and Serena one last time in this episode. They're talking about this visit. Fred feels betrayed, and Serena is sure that Gilead is going to come for her baby eventually. And then if they get her, Serena, they'll send her to the colonies, or they'll make her a handmaid now that they know that she's fertile. Something bad will await her. She definitely can't go back to America willingly. Fred says he will protect them. He says to have faith.
Gotta have faith.
I was thinking that too.
Gotta have faith.
Yeah.
Baby.
And we'll find out that means he sort of betrays Gilead, but we'll talk about that for the next episode. And then finally, Luke is waiting for June at home. He's crying over the Hannah dossier that she shows him. It was actually the end of this episode. Tuello says he's happy for them, but what next? What now? How do we do anything to Gilead at all? And then Tuello lets slip that he has a new operative in Toronto, Fred fucking Waterford.
Ay.
He's agreed to share his info in exchange for his freedom. They've already dropped the charges against him. Now, that's what he says, but then it turns out there has to be some hearing in Geneva. But he says they've dropped the charges. Everyone freaks out at him, except for June, who doesn't say anything at first. And then after he leaves, she storms off, goes outside, and tries to kick his ass. I'm going to kill you, you piece of shit.
I will kill you.
Yeah, she really gets to let loose on that one.
She likes to slobber a lot.
Well,
stuff's flying out of her face all the time.
She does good angry. I'll give her that.
She sure does.
And this season, she really gets to show it in ways that she never did before.
She's got quite the evil smile, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She can.
She gets that look on her face.
When I think it's the way that they're lighting and shooting her too, to kind of give her some extra darkness under her eyes when they're like above her. But she's kind of glinting up, but her head's down. And yeah, it's good. It's good cinematography for sure. So that was the end of the episode. And I got to say, we're at 50 minutes on this podcast. We've been doing 2 episodes of Handmaid's Tale per episode up till this point, but there's a lot to cover in that finale. So I feel like we should hold off and we'll do another recording in a few days.
Yeah.
As soon as we can.
This is crazy. Okay.
It is crazy.
Next time, no Pot of Thronesing.
What?
I mean, we got to just
promised
skip
our
that.
listeners Game of Thrones headlines every episode, but we'll try to not have a lot of them.
We're
four.
the same length as the show. They could just go watch the show and...
What? That's what we've been doing this whole time. But we're not just talking about what happened on the show. We're talking about, like, why did Nick's head explode like a watermelon? That's what we're doing here.
Okay. As long as we can be of some service.
Yes. I hope we are of service. If we are, tell us. If we're not, hey, you can tell us that too. You can always find us online. You can reach me at jeff@potofthrones.com or at potofthrones on Twitter.
Oh, you can reach me at jennifer@potofthrones.com or at Kid Freed Weekend.
It sounded like Kid Free Tweekend.
Kid Free Weekend on Twitter.
Oh, that's a good place to cut it. We'll see what happens to Gilead. I'm sure there's some big stuff's going to happen in episode 10. Wink, wink. There's going to be some shit.
Yeah.
There's going to be some shit happening. So I hope you guys are watching along with us.
I hope so, too. I hope we're not, like, too far behind.
A little bit.
I mean we're not.
It's no reaction cast like we used to do for Game of Thrones, but we're almost there.
Days.
We're close. We're close. All right. We'll be back ASAP.